Here. Listen, lots of people have been asking me, Robbie, how have you managed to lose so much weight? And I feel so much better for it. And it has been a journey. But these two little things here, Optimum Day and Optimum Night, have really, really helped me on my weight loss journey. This Optimum Day, what it does, it helps you to curb your cravings. It really helps with your metabolism and just really stabilizes things. And I swear by this. I absolutely swear by this. And then the Optimum Night, what this one does, I take these before I go to bed at night, helps you to have a much better, deeper sleep, makes you relax, makes you sleep, and makes your body recover. And these pills, I mean, listen, they're not magic pills, but they're all natural, and they have really, really helped me in my weight loss journey, and I really, really swear by them. So if you want to get your hands on these, scan the QR code in the description right now, or click the link down below, and you can get 70% off your first order with the Optimum Day and Optimum Night by Oxford Natural. As I said, these have been essential tools in my weight loss journey. Of course, there's no magic to it. You've got to eat less, you've got to go to the gym, you've got to do all those things. But these two have really, really helped me, and I recommend them very, very highly. So once again, if you want to get them and get 70% off your first order, all you've got to do is scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description, and you get 70% off your first order.
Yes, everybody, welcome back to DR Sports. Welcome back to Live at 5. It's Tuesday. Hope you guys have had a great day. I know that Abby on my left is having a bit of a struggle day today, aren't you?
I'm struggling, guys. From the gym, it's self-inflicted, but it actually hurts to sit. It hurts to breathe.
And if you ask her about Spurs, you get the same answer.
Yeah, I'm just generally hurting. I'm hurting internally, externally. I need to go to bed.
But we got a star-studded panel today. Obviously, Abby on my left, on my right, Kenya's back. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm good. I'm doing well.
Yeah. Nice to see you smiling for once. Learn how it feels to win a game.
Oh yeah, mate. I'm the only one on this panel who's got 3 points in the last game.
Yeah, but it's like your first time in God knows how long.
Yes, first time in ages.
Are you gonna do it back to back?
Again?
I hope so.
You're gonna do 3 in a row.
Well, West Ham at home and then Wolves
Have
away.
you experienced 4 yet?
No. Not in a long time.
Do you know what?
Mate.
I just think it's really cruel that you let that guy who won't cut his hair
It's
get
not
ever
that I
close.
didn't
Yeah,
do it.
so close.
You let him get so close to it.
So
why
close.
even give him the element of hope?
I know they're a disgrace.
I actually met
Just
him.
not very
I actually
fair.
met him a couple of weeks ago. You know.
What does he say about it?
He said that he doesn't mind the attention, but at the end of the day, he kind of just wants to cut his hair now because it's so itchy.
Honestly, setting yourself a target of 5 games back to back.
Yeah, you know how ridiculous that is.
I can understand if you were an Arsenal fan, I probably get that.
Yeah,
but as a United fan, making
but then
I
swear he said he thought back to back would be too easy, or 3 in a row would be too easy.
Because he did it. He started it. And then Ten Hag got
dead.
sacked about 2 weeks later or something like that. So it was like he kind of thought that it would be, Ten Hag would stay, would get a run going together. They sacked Ten Hag, brought Amram in and ripped up everything. And it just got 10 times worse. But also on my far left, we got Laurie once again.
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All the Lyles.
Great to be here.
All the Lyles.
Well, bar one.
Yeah.
Bar one.
Lyle-centric.
The Live at 5 Lyles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Lyle at 5.
Lyle at 5.
Lyle at 5.
I love
That's very
that.
It's getting rebranded, mate.
That is getting rebranded.
But what we're going to be doing today is going a little bit, because obviously it's December now. Yeah,
Yes.
Just December 2nd.
Christmas time.
We're in Christmas period, but what that means is the January transfer window. It's starting to heat up a bit. Clubs are making plans. And the interesting thing that I saw today, just for you, Abby, as well, is the latest news from coming out of Spurs is that Tottenham are intensifying their interest in Antoine Semenyo ahead of the January transfer window. Spurs want to sign a left winger and are looking to get ahead of the competition for the Bournemouth forward. Sky Sports News reported last month that Liverpool and Man City are also keen on Semenyo. Obviously, Semenyo being a player who you bid for last summer, about 50 million quid, got rejected.
Yeah.
Same with United, we also have the same thing. But is this a case of, obviously Thomas Frank is, with the best will in the world, not in a good place.
No.
Not in a. I mean, there is a reason why this has been in the studio the last 4 days in a row. And you might get chewed up by Newcastle tonight as well.
Let me tell you, tonight is going to be heavy. It's going to be as heavy as my legs feel.
It's going to be bad.
It's going to be dark.
Going to be bad. But is this a case of almost Thomas Frank? What have you just done?
It's away from me.
Thomas Frank going kind of, I need someone to save me. I need Antoine Semenyo in January.
I don't even think the geese is going to be there to allow someone to save him at this point.
Semenyo won't save in the January transfer window.
I was actually, you know what? I was sitting there thinking this last night, as you do. Like, I want to believe that this could turn around. I do, because I will state again, I do think he's a good manager, but you've got to give fans something to believe in, right? And I saw a tweet earlier that someone had posted, and he said, we never booed when it was this bad towards the end of, Poch's reign. We didn't even boo this bad at the end of Ange's reign, and we lost 22 times. And that's because you buy into...
What about Nunes, right?
Oh no, we booed them. But you buy into like a style of play, or you get something to hold on to. What?
I'm looking at your fixtures. He's finished.
Oh, he's finished. He's absolutely finished. But it was something I said on yesterday's show as well. Like, we had a connection with Ange because of the results early on and the style of football.
That's who we are, mate.
And it's who we are, mate. Like,
So we are, mate.
He kind of like garnered love and faith and all of that, and a bit of hopium, pure hopium.
He had an identity.
Just because of that.
Yeah.
Like, this team doesn't have any remote identity. There isn't anything for fans to attach themselves to.
Yeah.
You can't attach to the manager because you don't like the style of football. You can't really attach to the team and how they're playing. Because of what you're seeing on the pitch.
You've also got nothing to hope for this time round. Under Ange, right, at least you still had that Europa League to hope for, right? So when you were getting done left, right and centre...
If you look at Ange's first season when he first came in, he came in with this really... We're super attacking, super fluid.
Easy
front
to buy
foot.
into.
Yeah, and
Very
as well,
easy
and
to
I
buy
think...
into. And
something,
results for the first 10
yeah,
games
and he had
gave you
really good
something.
results. Like,
Yeah.
even so, I remember when you guys came to Emirates and got a draw, like, do you know what I mean? Those things was like... Spurs fans are looking at like, right, we're moving in the right direction at that time, and just giving us an identity, and the players are bought into it. And I think something that Thomas Frank, where he kind of fails, is that he also kind of doesn't have a personality.
Yeah.
He's just this nice guy, like this average guy. Whereas, Ange had all these big quotes. What's that thing he said about I win things in my second season?
Yeah.
You had Jose, who obviously had a personality. Like
You had
Poch
Conte that had a personality.
Yeah,
You had
Conte,
Poch.
Poch. They had an identity, a personality about them. You look at Thomas Frank and like, he is a nice guy, but that's not enough.
No.
Like, it's not.
And also...
Can I just ask quickly, what did you make of those comments he made about the fans?
I was just about to bring this
About
up.
the fans, I think you should mind your business. My personal preference on that is you can chat to fans if you're doing your job, but you're not. I disagree wholeheartedly with singling out one player and booing Vicario because I think it's completely unconstructive. I think that what's the point? Like, he's made a mistake. Okay, he always fronts and comes out and apologises at the end of every game. He holds the losses more than anybody does. I don't think he's a good keeper. I think we could definitely do better. But it is what it is. I think booing him every time he's on the ball during a game that you are losing, he's the closest player to the fans. How is that constructive? He's already a shaky keeper. He's a flappy guy. And he's made a big mistake. But you booing him constantly, what's the point? Boo the whole team. Please, more the merrier.
Yeah.
Boo to your heart's content. But singling out one guy, I don't think is right.
Mid-game as
Because
well.
would you have done that with Romero's 2 errors if we were at home playing against PSG? Would you have booed him for the hospital pass to Sarr? Would you have booed him for giving away the penalty? Probably not, no. I don't think it's necessary. The frustration I totally understand from Spurs fans. Like I said, boo the team, boo the manager, boo whatever you want. But I don't think it's fair to boo one person. And now it's kind of created like another divide, like between the fans and the players. Obviously, Porro put something on his Instagram the other day kind of saying that, they stand together and it's not fair. And I fully understand that.
Yeah. I think he's right to say
But
that.
the manager's saying that the people that booed him are not true fans.
No,
What's your take on
I
that?
take that with a pinch.
Honestly, I think that's bang out of order.
I just take that with just focus on yourself. It's like when Ange called out Spurs fans for wanting to not win that game against City. Well, mate, we'll be here a lot longer than you will, and that's how I always feel about every manager, every player. Spurs fans, at the end of the day, know what this club is, what this club represents, and what they want to see, and we pay exceptionally high money to see that. So if the football's not good enough, don't tell me what I can and can't do. Please don't, mate, because let me tell you, you're going to be out that door so quick you won't even remember you ever managed. That's my view on it. And I saw something else which is going to blow all of your minds. It was another tweet I saw, bear with me, last night. So it was, I probably deleted it. Okay, I will find it. But anyway, it was something along the lines of, I think Joe Tomlinson tweeted it, and he said one of his friends pays £2,300
I saw that,
for his
yeah.
season ticket.
How much it equals for a win?
We've
That
had
was
three.
crazy.
We've had 3 wins this year. Not this season. 3 home wins. Calendar year. 3 wins in a calendar year at home. Thank you.
It was disgraceful.
In 21 games, each one of those wins has cost £766 per
That's
win.
tap.
So when I sit there and I
Wait,
mention
Who did you win? Who did you beat at home? Is that just you lot? Them 3
United,
times?
Yeah, it's just
You lot are
It's
Yeah,
actually
we give it a go.
tired.
Oh
I
my
actually think
God.
it might just be you.
It might just be you lot.
Burnley.
United and
Stops on the
Burnley.
floor.
Nah, you lot are
No,
disgusting.
it must be
fam.
someone else, but I can't actually think who the third one is. But either way, my point being is when I sit there and I talk about Enoch and like your dad was riling me up yesterday, okay? Because
he's got a
yes,
point.
we can talk about Daniel Levy as well. Like obviously he's not there anymore, but Daniel Levy was the puppet, right? You've still got the puppet masters, you've still got the men behind the mask, all that stuff. They haven't changed. And things can change potentially if they want to change them. But as it stands, in the 3 months that Daniel Levy's been gone, nothing has obviously changed yet. So the problem still remains. It is a systematic failure why Tottenham Hotspur are in this position from the ownership. And it's always going to be that way until the ownership is not there. Daniel Levy is just a part of that. He's just the front man. And it gives you an icon to hate. It's
given Squid
right?
Games.
It literally, okay? He is just the face of Enoch. So yeah, when we hate Daniel Levy, of course, but we still hate Enoch. He was part of that. So look, are they going to change? I don't know. Are they going to give Thomas Frank time? Maybe. Don't know. But I know I will be gobsmacked, and you can clip this, if we go to Newcastle and we don't get battered. And we don't lose to Brentford.
Do you see the way they beat?
History would tell me that tonight is a spanking.
I know, but I guess this season, the only game you've lost away from home in the league was to Arsenal, which, no offence, I wouldn't even say that. I know we're North London rivals and stuff,
Yeah.
but if you take that out, it's a team that's top of the league that's just on fire at the moment. Like, is it a Of course, the loss was really bad. You lost 4-1, but it's kind of an anomaly at the moment in terms of your away form.
Do you think he deserves time though? Because I remember when he got the job, a lot of Tottenham fans were quite encouraged. I know, okay, I'm not a Tottenham fan by a long.
I think
I was the same. I thought it was a great appointment.
Yeah,
I think he kind of divided people. Like I was kind of like, he's not my first choice, but like I think he's a good manager. Let's see. Again, he's a bit more pragmatic, but he's known for being defensively very sound. He's known for being stabilizing. He's good tactically. So the things I'm not seeing are the things he's meant to be good at. And earlier on in the season, when I was like, I'm on the train, I'm here for it. Cool, like we're winning.
Yeah,
I'm not getting ahead of myself, but it is what it is. I was starting to see some improvements in terms of the amount of goals we were conceding. But now, fast forward from. I made those comments probably even after the Chelsea game. I thought that was a one-off.
Yeah.
And I was wrong. It's the lack of competitiveness which bothers me.
But then
you can lose to Arsenal. That's no shame. Most people lose to Arsenal. Yeah. You can lose to Chelsea. It's the way in which you lose a game. And when you don't turn up in those games, whether it's at home or away, and you have got no competitiveness about you in the biggest games of your season against your two biggest rivals, that tells me you are not the man for the job, because you pick the team, you make the tactics, and they were completely spineless.
Do you think the job's too big for him? Because he's kind of giving me Graham Potter vibes.
Yeah, someone else said this to me the other day. I think he's a far better manager than Graham Potter. First and foremost.
Let's not diss.
But I understand I understand what you mean. I think it's a similar case to Nuno. I think Nuno's a good manager. I just don't necessarily think Tottenham is the right club for him. And Tottenham will always want to have front foot football. If you're going to be pragmatic, and I'll just compare it to Antonio Conte in that first season, Spurs fans will suck up the lack of attacking, sexy, free-flowing football if you're winning games, like most fans. But if you're not, what am I watching? And I've got to pay £766 per win. Are you mad?
That's wild.
No chance.
Yeah,
but then can't you say as well, like, shouldn't you be looking at your players, like, and saying like, where is the fight? So against Arsenal, right? I looked at that team that Thomas Frank put out, and I was like, this is a very negative team, right? You've put in a back five essentially. Yeah. Like, I understand Arsenal at the moment, but come on, you should. It's a derby. Is a back five really the right thing? It obviously didn't work. But I just looked at it and I just saw two teams. I saw one team in Arsenal that really wanted it. Yeah. Really wanted to fight, knew what the occasion was. And I looked at Spurs and it's like they didn't know what that game meant. There's like, I look at your games, even against Fulham, there's no real commitment. There's no dog in that team that's like, I know what it means. I know what it means to win. Like, I'd say, like, for example, ours is a Saka, it's a Declan Rice, it's a Gabriel. They know what it means to, like, go into those games. They know what it means to say, oh, we've beaten this team and that team. I totally agree with you. But you just lack that.
This is not their first North London derby. Yeah. I could excuse them if we'd signed like 10 new players and they didn't know and understand the intensity of or what comes with playing against Arsenal or against Chelsea. These are players that most of these players have been here for years. It's probably like their 6th North London derby or something like that. Yeah. There is not a chance that you can turn up when you wear that Tottenham shirt and perform how they did. The only person genuinely in that whole team that I think could have walked away with some kind of head held high to understand what that meant was Richarlison.
Yeah.
And that is not on, even though it's a great goal, it's not on his ability. It's about he's got the job.
Do you know what? You try to fight Declan Rice or something
and he will try and do that.
Yeah,
and there is a lot
that's
to be
fair.
said for players like that. I wanted to also say on Xavi Simons, because obviously I have been quite harsh on him, and I still have said, though, I will remain to have my judgment on him until he's got better attacking options around him. When Kulu, Maddison, Solanke are back, then I can probably judge him. I do think that we don't necessarily play to his strengths, though.
Yeah.
I don't really think we play with the ball much on the floor and through balls to him and connecting the dots. I think we try and go kind of around him.
Yeah.
And yes, he's very lightweight. Yes, he's very weak. Yes, he doesn't quite grasp the physicality and the speed of the Premier League at the moment. But you kind of, in some weird way, you've kind of actually got to play him into form.
Yeah.
You've kind of got to let him do
Give
that.
him a chance.
Yeah, you've
Because
kind
I
of got to
actually
let him
think when
do
he
that.
came on against us again, like he probably had 20 minutes, but he was your best player when he came on.
And when you don't have any other options to create in that 10, you have to play him.
Yeah.
And I wasn't actually thinking that way the other day, but I don't think that we necessarily play the right style for him to actually be able to thrive anyway.
You guys almost play like we're going to win the second ball.
Yeah.
We're going to be
Well,
out of possession.
when was the last time you saw us in a duel?
But exactly. But the
Couldn't
reality
tell you.
is Xavi Simons is maybe a guy that he wants to be in a tiki-taka fluid kind of type of team. And when you're playing a team that, you've got wing backs essentially, and you've got a midfield of two DMs and a box-to-box midfielder, you're not going to see him flourish.
And also, those two DMs aren't ball playing midfielders.
they're not.
They're not. So he's probably not even getting
does Bentancur start?
really the opportunity.
There's life.
Like,
I don't know.
ideally, with the current team that are fit, like that midfield should probably be probably Polinia or Bentancur. I think Polinia is better in terms of having that.
Yeah, he wins more.
He wins more he wins
transition,
more.
I think.
I think having Polinia there, and then it should probably be Sarr for the legs, and it should be Bergvall. But he won't do that because he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to not have the double fucking.
Is he too
Plus,
scared?
I think it's also fair
Yeah,
to say that the signings that have come in, we've spoken about.
Tell was
Simon.
never good enough.
Yeah.
Even Danso.
You guys did the same
Danso's
thing
done
with
his
Timo
best, but
Werner,
Is he really
though.
that guy?
Well, I've seen
You guys
as well,
did that.
so-
What you've done to Tell, you did with
I
Timo
was
Werner, where you got him on
shocked.
loan, and you should have just said loan's not worked. We're sending you back.
I was shocked that they
that's
signed
one.
him.
That's one thing you got to give
It was about
respect to
45
Chelsea.
mil as well, wasn't it?
That's one thing you got to respect about Chelsea. They looked at Jadon Sancho and said, "Yeah, you helped us win the Conference League, but you're still not good enough. We'll take the 5 mil loan thing. We'll send you back.
because
We'll
what they
get
did
someone
was that
better."
they basically offered Sancho a contract they knew he wouldn't accept and went, "Oh, you've not offered it. All right, bye."
Yeah.
Cheers.
but
Cheerio.
That's what these guys should have done
Pretty
with
much,
Matthias
yeah.
Tel.
But
It pretty
that's
much
just
was.
not- So that tells you
good
everything you need to know about Tottenham. That's
Yeah.
what it's
Yeah.
not the first time they've done it. They've done it so many times with so many different players. Matthias Tel is not good enough for Spurs.
Yeah,
maybe
it's
he would be. Maybe, in all honesty, maybe he would be good enough for a Brentford or
Yeah,
another
I'd
team.
actually
like,
probably agree
where
with that.
there's less pressure and you can have time to develop, and there's not so much emphasis on making sure you don't finish 17th again.
Yeah.
There's that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to just single him out. I don't think probably Odegaard is good enough either. But
Yeah.
whatever, that was a 20 mil signing out a couple of years ago. That is what it is. We've just got a real lack of quality, good players in that final third. And it does make a difference when your first choice players, when it comes to Tottenham,
Yeah.
we don't have the strength in depth of that same quality. It's unfortunate for us that Maddison has essentially been injured for basically a calendar year as well. Kulusevski's had two back-to-back
he's a
really
bit
bad
flaky, to
injuries.
be honest.
He is, and he's lightweight. And I would be one of the first people to admit that a lot of the time I'd be like, I'd rather see Kulusevski in the 10 than Maddison. But I need to have someone there, someone that also understands what it means to play in a North London derby.
This is what I was saying. Sorry to interrupt. I was saying on a show I did. We talk about signings and that, but perhaps the best signing that Arsenal made this year
Andrea Berta,
is
man.
Andrea Berta, because
He's
what that guy's
just
done,
changed us.
he's just.
But
I
changed
agree
things, yeah.
completely. He's been so good for kind of changing the way you operate in
Yeah.
the market.
Yeah.
Like the whole. I know it was a whole he does stuff behind the scenes and he talks, but cause that's how it works. with
Yeah.
Arsenal.
And let's be honest as well, and Kenya will attest to this. It's no secret that few of those signings, it wasn't even Arteta. In
Yeah.
fact, from what I'm hearing, so for example, Eze, who you guys,
Hincapié.
Hincapié,
And Gyökeres.
yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm even
Gyökeres,
hearing
yeah.
Norgard as well.
Yeah,
I'm hearing
Norgard.
that there was some tension there
yeah.
in terms
It
of.
was Andrea
he's-
Berta saying,
he
like,
stuck
even
his
on the
neck out and
He's
said,
given
"No,
you a great squad
trust me,
in order to do that.
believe in what I'm doing. Let's get him."
But the difference between you and us, and this is what I said to Rob yesterday, is that if we go back 6.5 years when your board was Usmanov and the Kroenkes didn't want to put money in, etc. You were in the same position. It was only the fact that the Kroenkes decided to actually invest money and want to build Arsenal into what it's become now, which is again a giant and someone that can compete. ENIC don't want to do that. They never have done that. All the revenue that's ever gone back into Spurs has been what the club has generated from finishing in the top 4 and things like that.
That's how we've been the entire time.
So when you have a look at the squad and you look at the players and it's like, okay, well actually Spurs probably have overachieved in some weird way over the last however many years. Not last season, obviously, but the squad is probably nowhere. It's probably not even good enough to be.
I've just
top
been
6. It's probably.
I've just been looking through. I've just been
7 to
looking
10.
through some of this squad, the Spurs squad here.
I would say even
with
Villa
all due
has a better squad
respect.
than you.
Yeah. So
Like especially in their midfield areas, they've got a better squad.
Until the ownership want to actually invest in the club and make it, you can have. Pochettino said it best himself 6.5 years ago, and it was the truest statement. If you've got a beautiful house, but if you've got horrible furniture,
What's the point?
What's the point? And it was the truest quote.
It is. Even if you go and look back at our squad 5-6 years ago to where we are now.
Your squad was dire.
Dire.
It was actually pretty trash.
Oh, it was terrible.
Pretty. It
Yeah.
was awful.
Awful. Dead awful.
But
But
who's the other one that's
disgusting.
been making noises? There's been another manager. Glasner, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's pretty come out.
he
and
was
said-
fuming.
He basically said, "Yo, if you man don't
Yeah.
get me what I want, I'm going." And
Well,
do you
no,
know
but
what?
did
I hear it.
you see what he said after the United
Yeah.
game? Where he pretty much went, I said to the board, when you're in European football, you need more players.
And he's
They
right.
didn't buy me more players. They made 60 million in profit. And now look, we're getting battered by United.
Yeah.
And it was true. First half,
They
they were a
ran
much
out-
better
they
team than
ran out
us.
of steam.
60th minute, they ran out of steam, and
Yeah.
we went, cool, here's 2 nice
Well,
goals.
that was
Come on,
basically- I don't know if
they
you-
were there going,
Yeah.
they couldn't do it.
I
They
don't know if you
literally could
watched
not
their
cut
game
it.
against Strasbourg. Again, they should have won that game, but
Yeah.
because they
Missed
don't
chances.
have so many. Adam Wharton missed chance. I think Ismail Assar missed chance. Ismail Assar is
Sarr
off
missed
now.
some sitters.
Yeah.
Who's coming in for
Yeah.
him? Do you know what I mean?
Nketiah.
And if
Yeah.
you think they've
That's
lost,
not
they've
good
lost
enough.
Eze, they've lost Elise over the last few years. They're going to lose
Yeah.
Guehi as well. Quite possible. Well, basically on a free, unless someone.
You have to look
unless
at-
people
Well,
are going
he-
to buy him
so-
in Jan.
yeah,
But
he's going on free in the summer.
they've lost money on a very big player there. They should have just sold him in the summer.
Yeah.
The lack of investment there is crazy.
Yeah.
And the same way, for example, Son. We knew Son was going. Son was finished. Son's been finished for the last 18 months. The fact that they didn't buy someone to replace Son on the left,
Crazy.
mad.
Yeah, well,
shows me the intent
is,
of the ownership.
This is why I want to ask you, Abby. Do you think, therefore, so with the just if you guys are just joining, we're talking about the fact that this started with us talking about the fact that
Sorry, 20-minute rant on
Sky
my
Sports have
say
said that
this
Spurs.
I love a rant.
are intense. No, I feel like you need it.
I need it.
Therapeutic.
And after tomorrow, you're gonna need it
Oh
again.
my God, when I see you tomorrow.
Yeah, when you come back.
No,
on
but
tomorrow.
you know
So
what?
Abby
to be
will be
fair
here
to
tomorrow
Tottenham,
to react to that
be fair
Newcastle
Tottenham,
game.
their away form, like
That's
Kenny
what I
said,
said, yeah.
Arsenal aside, has been pretty good.
They've won every
It
game
was,
away.
but I think it's changed now. I think at the beginning of the season, it was a case of home form's off, but away form's great. That's how it was.
think we're just
But
generally
because it's
crap.
kept going in that way, you've just become worse as the season's gone on.
Yeah.
This is why I want to ask you. So if you are intensifying interest in Semenyo and want to try and sign him in, because he's not going to AFCON, obviously, because
Yeah.
Ghana didn't qualify. If this is something that Spurs are looking to be like, right, we need to pull this off day 1 of the January transfer window, day 3, day 4, is that potentially maybe a sign of them doing what you're asking for and
Yeah.
actually putting some investment in?
Absolutely.
Getting someone in on the left, obviously Semenyo is what's it called when you're
Premier League proven.
ambipedal, where he's both feet.
Never knew. Never.
I know about
Why
ambidextrous.
can you just
Ambidextrous.
ambidextrous?
He can play with both.
I know that's
Why
with
don't
your
you just
hands.
say
I
Usman
know.
Dembele or something?
Both
Why
sided.
don't you just say like a
That
Usman
would-
Dembele?
there is a word for it. Comments, you can let me know if you want to let me know.
He can play- he
But
can
I
play
think
He can
and
play.
right.
He can play left and right.
he can play with both feet and also he can play on both sides, play in the middle. He's obviously just a fantastic player. I think it's called ambipedal. I think that's what it's called.
We'll check.
But yeah, 60 million plus 5 million.
Both footed,
Is
but
that
it
the exact
works.
kind of investment that you want to see the squad?
100%.
Yeah.
And also Spurs have the money to do it. That's what annoys me so much.
Anton, don't do it.
So much. Listen, I
Anton,
feel sorry
don't
for
do it.
any manager that comes to Spurs. Okay, we've had so many managers.
Why?
Okay?
They choose to go there.
Because they think that they're going to be the difference, right? And I just want to put it out there. I really don't blame any manager that's ever walked through the door at Spurs. I blame them to an extent, obviously, because they're the ones coaching. But I know that they are always set up to fail, because when your board don't want to back you in the correct way and want to cut corners and would rather give you Tell or someone else, I could just go back so many years. I'll give you a prime example. Harry Redknapp. Years ago, great manager, did wonders for the club. I think Spurs were in the title race. We're going back probably like 2012. Jan transfer window comes, need reinforcements. Needs it.
Yeah.
Can't even remember. There was so many good players that we were linked to at the time. All went to like City or whoever, or Chelsea, whatever. We brought in Louis Saha at the end of his career and Ryan Nelson.
Lol.
And if that didn't tell you then,
Yeah.
We've had the same thing at United so many times. Jose Mourinho, right? Remember when he finished second in the league with us after Man City's play? And then do you want to know who we bought that summer?
Achievement.
That summer, we brought in Fred for 52 million.
yeah.
Dallo, who was at the time 19 years old, fresh from Porto. And our third time that summer was Lee Grant. Lee Grant. We had three summer signings. One was a 37-year-old goalkeeper. One was an overpaid full midfielder that basically Man City tricked us into signing. Yeah. And the other was a 19-year-old right back.
Listen to this. Last season, Kenny will know about this. When we was going for the title, last January, should have been making signings. We brought in one player, Raheem Sterling, who, as much as I love Raheem,
washed.
Totally but then at least this summer, the summer that's just gone, you got it spot on.
Well, this is what I'm saying. So that's why it's so important. By the way, you were right. The name for being a two-footed footballer in football is called ambipedal. Or ambipedal.
So are we discovering that I
or
know
you can
a word
use the
that
word
you didn't know?
I've never heard it.
Yeah.
So I knew a word that you
actually
didn't.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. But to be fair to myself, you can also
I'm
use
trying
the
to be
term
clever.
ambidextrous
VR
to describe. You can also use the term ambidextrous
Can you spell it?
to describe.
Oh, ambipedal. No, I'm dyslexic.
Oh, it's not. It's quite an easy spelling actually.
But I do want to.
AMBI pedal. PEDAL.
Well, there you go. You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
And speaking of learning things, there is also more transfer news looking at Liverpool. So I want to speak about Liverpool for a bit because there's been a bit of news coming out. So we mentioned Guehi earlier.
Yeah.
The Athletic have said that that's pretty much a non-starter for January. So
I said
Liverpool
this before.
will not be getting
oh my
in.
God. I remember saying this to AGT and FJ, right? I said, you missed him out on the summer, right? If I'm Mark Guehi, why would I commit to Liverpool when I can wait to the end of the season and there's so many clubs that need a centre-back. Real Madrid needs centre-backs. I could go to Barca on a free. Inter Milan are interested in me. There's so many. If I'm Mark Guehi, why close my options to January? I might as well wait.
Absolutely.
No, I completely agree
I might
with
as
you,
well wait.
I completely agree.
Because
totally
the reality is, if
not
Mark
a free agreement whenever he wants,
Guehi says no, I'm not leaving. It's not like Palace can say we're not going to play you because they have to play him.
Of course.
Because they've got nobody else, and nobody else is going to be on the level of a Mark Guehi.
Also, can we just discuss that Liverpool? What is their backup if they were hell bent on
I
getting
said this.
Guehi?
I said this, and
I find
Herring
it.
goes,
blah blah.
I find
Well,
it bad that
I
you go off
made
for
the
two centre-backs.
analogy, and Dylan was there. The Gucci belt syndrome. I said they're
Need a
going to a
suit, fam.
wedding. They need a suit. They come home with a
Gucci belt.
Yeah, it's a nice belt, but you didn't need a belt.
Came
you
home
need
with a
suit.
Burberry
And
shirt.
that's
Where's
what
the
I'm
trousers
saying.
and the shoes?
He's just
We'll
wearing a
talk
shirt.
about that. They don't need Semenya right now. They need a defender.
I heard that Liverpool haven't got much money to spend in Jam.
Well, wait.
Through a source.
Oh, I guess it's hard to say.
I mean, to be
innit?
fair, they spent almost £500 million
Yeah,
quid
they
in the
spent
summer.
500
They might as well, the way Liverpool are at the moment, and I don't wish to sound condescending, but they might as well wait until the season's done.
There's no way they get through the rest of the season with that they can't. What if
They need
what
someone.
if Virgil van Dijk
Yeah,
gets
they
an
need-
injury?
Yeah.
What
or
if-
Canard-
Oh,
What
which
if-
he, by the way, does almost every single season.
Also,
Yeah, but-
I know how bad Kanate has been, but what if Kanate gets an injury? They've only got.
Well,
Joe
okay,
Gomez.
they have to get
Yeah, but
somebody
even
on
Joe
loan.
Gomez has injury issues.
Yeah.
They have to get somebody on loan.
Centre back. They're also in the Champions League. They have
They have to.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's-
otherwise Soboslai is going to probably end up adding literally another position to his
Genuinely,
roster.
you know what they can do? Play Endo there for 4 months
Yeah.
of the season, 5 months.
That's
Genuinely,
That's not tenable.
Yeah.
Or Andy Robertson. You
Well,
can't.
we-
you
we
actually can't do that.
We had a couple of years ago when remember when Palace smacked us 4-0 a few
Yeah, I
years
remember
back.
that.
Casemiro was playing centre back
Yeah.
because it
Michael
was
Olise.
Casemiro and Johnny Evans as our centre back pairing.
Yeah.
Even
Because we
us,
had no one else.
Even us last season, we had to play Archie Gray there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They never
That's
played because we
actually
had no
crazy.
centre backs. But
Yeah.
then came January and we bought in
Danso.
Danzo, yeah.
And the same thing had happened the season before when we had to bring in Dragusin because we had no centre back.
Yeah. I don't understand
I just
why
think-
Liverpool are only ever going for one centre back.
No,
I
They
think it's
signed
I just
Leone,
think
they
they
failed.
needed 2 more.
Yeah.
And also,
No,
you
exactly.
couldn't depend on Leone either.
He's 18.
Yeah. Apparently they got very high hopes.
He's
for him,
an
but just-
18-year-old kid.
Just on the subject, also Christopher ZY doesn't big up the super chat. I think he does say, why don't Spurs lean on the youth if money is tight?
I totally
But money
agree
isn't
with you.
tight.
Money isn't tight, by the way.
That's what makes it
It's
worse.
not tight. Like Enoch, in terms of Joe Lewis,
They
who's
got
the owner
peas.
of the club, has got. I
You got
remember
cash
doing an
wrecked.
interview years ago during COVID with Harry Redknapp, and he literally said Joe Lewis had basically the same amount of money as Roman Abramovich.
Yeah.
The only difference is that one invested in the club and the other one didn't. That is genuinely from the horse's mouth.
Talking about centre backs again,
said he
you
also
have to
never
give
came.
Andrea Berta credit. What did he do in the summer? He went out and got a left-sided Encapié, and you got a right-sided Mosquera. And those two signings.
And
have
then
been
both
very,
Steve and Gabriel have been out, and they might
This
not
is
be
what I'm
hearing the
saying.
weekend
We've had to
either.
call on our depth from basically week one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? On a
So what
Madueke,
Abby says there is
it's
right.
so
You've got to
important to have
invest
depth.
You have
in
to
your
invest.
team.
And also on the
Crazy.
youth, it is not good enough, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, when I look at players that have come through our academy, they're so few and far between.
Yeah.
So few and far. Obviously, Kane, like Ryan Mason,
Yeah.
Harry
Where's
Winks,
Dane
Oliver
Scarlett?
Skip. Dane Scarlett's there.
Yeah.
But there or
is he-
thereabout.
what
He doesn't get
position is
played.
he?
Striker.
Yeah.
Doesn't get played. Could do.
Yeah.
Could do right now.
Mikey
Doesn't.
Moore you sent out.
Mikey Moore's on loan. And I think like that. Why does no one
Neymar.
progress through Spurs? Why is there no good academy? I look at your academy, for example.
Yeah.
Arsenal in particular, brilliant at bringing players through. Look at Chelsea. Look at Cobham. They sell all these players who are so good.
Look at Man City.
City.
Man City's
exactly.
academy is
Man
crazy.
City's academy
I
is one of the
will never
best.
understand how a team with the facilities that Tottenham have
Yeah.
don't have any players that they entrust to play first team. When I look at so much crap.
Do you reckon that's because they're all going Arsenal?
No.
To a certain extent, because like London, or
Oh,
maybe
well,
just Arsenal,
no,
like
I
London
don't.
is so competitive in terms of all the big clubs there.
Yeah,
All the
I guess
young
there's a lot of
players have
academies.
Yeah, but
much
I-
more choice.
Yes and no, because I still think that if you're a young player, I think that Spurs is a very attractive option for you.
Yeah, it is.
I do think it's very attractive.
'Cause
There
it's
can
still
only-
a big club.
There can only be so many
Yeah.
youth that go to Arsenal or go to Chelsea, because also kids that go to Arsenal and Chelsea know that it's a very thin chance of probably making it,
exactly.
because there's so many good teams that, so many good players within the team. Like, who was it that Heaven that went to you?
Yeah, Aiden
Yeah.
Heaven.
Yeah. So
He
someone
had
like
to
that
leave because
had to
he
leave.
looked at it like
Cheeto.
there's five centre
I'll
backs.
tell you
ahead
who
of me,
else
I'm not
does
getting
well
ahead.
with their academy. Crystal Palace in South London.
Yeah,
They do very well.
absolutely. So
You're right. Why can't Tottenham do
It's
the
not
same thing?
acceptable that we have such a low percentage of players
And
that
it's a
come
big
through.
catchment area, isn't
Yeah,
it? Let's be honest.
exactly. Like I don't know why. It's another reason. I couldn't tell you why we lose so many games at home, and I can't tell you why we don't produce any good academy products.
Maybe because you just had a bit of a mess.
The club is.
It's actually crazy because I've actually been to your facilities. It's wicked.
unreal.
They've got
What,
probably the
Spurs
best.
training
Yeah,
ground?
they've probably got the best.
Oh yeah, it looks great. Yeah,
It's fantastic.
yeah.
It's interesting
unbelievable.
Can't get 3
it's
points.
interesting we're having this conversation though, because so many times, the fans, and I can understand it. You blame the players, you blame the manager, but often it's a lot deeper rooted
Yeah.
than that, isn't it?
But I will
It's
always.
structural, it's organisation.
Top- all
I
football
will
clubs are
always
top
say
down.
that.
Yeah.
I will always say that. You'll never, even though I can have a go at Thomas Frank and I can blame the players, whatever, I will always, I always have done, said it is a systematic problem. It is from, the fish will always rot from the head. So whether
Exactly.
that is Daniel Levy in charge or Vinay or whoever else is in charge,
You guys getting Vinay? What a terrible mistake.
terrible. I know that, but it's at least got rid of Daniel Levy.
Yeah.
But I know they are all just the face for it. The problems are the ownership.
Yeah.
And
we
until that
we had a
ownership
similar
changes-
conversation. I know we're digressing slightly, but it's still relevant. Myself and Stricto and Cams, we had a similar conversation about African football and Caribbean football.
Yeah, it's
Why
true.
it hasn't developed
Progressed,
the way.
yeah.
Why are Nigeria consistently underperforming? Why have Cameroon just fallen out of like the
Cameroon
hemisphere?
used to be so great.
Yeah, now it's because years and years of not investing,
negligence.
not a proper structure
Yeah.
has led to the demise of these teams.
Wasn't it Leon Bailey
not a
that said
secret.
about Jamaica?
Yeah.
It was Leon Bailey, wasn't
Yeah.
it? About the shirts and stuff like that.
I mean, at the time, I was quite critical of Leon Bailey because I didn't like the way he did it because it seemed to be a little bit
What did he say?
self-serving. He was basically
This was
criticising
a
the
federation a while ago.
Jamaican Football Federation, saying that it's unorganised, it's this, it's that, which
He is right.
everything he said was pretty much spot on. The only problem that people had with it is that it took
His
him to when he
behaviour,
got
yeah.
suspended
His
for
behaviour
his
was
own
bad.
indiscipline and being dropped. That's when he came out. So it's a little bit self-serving, but anyone that follows Caribbean football, Jamaican football, we could talk to you for hours about this stuff.
It's
and it's
very
not just
reminiscent
football,
of
it's
what
like,
Abby said.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the sports.
Yeah.
So, like Abby quite rightly said, if you haven't got the proper structures in place, do not be surprised when your team doesn't perform.
Well, like so, just on an international level, like us with Wales, when Bale was leaving and Ramsey was obviously starting to be faded out, there was a little bit of an iffy, didn't quite know what direction to go. But Wales now, like the FAW, have a massive, like really good plan in place at the moment where we're getting young players through, we're getting them committed at like a really, like 16, 17, 15 years old, getting players committed to Wales, which is starting to see a lot of half, like not obviously world-class talent from Wales, but like half decent talent, like Championship and Premier League level players who are really massively committed. Well, like so, Harry Wilson is the best example, right?
I love Harry Wilson.
Harry Wilson, fantastic. Obviously,
Such a
he was obviously at Liverpool. He's now at Fulham. But from minute one, he's been so committed to Wales. Brooks, the same. Like Lyle Thomas from the Championship, now the same. Joey Rodon, Dan
about
James,
Brennan?
Ethan Ampadu, and
Brennan Johnson.
Brennan Johnson as well, yeah. No, like all these guys, probably half of them could be within a semi-shout playing for England, but from maybe not Brennan Johnson, but for Wales, he's fantastic.
Yeah, for Wales, he's good.
He's got a cracking goal when we last international break.
He used to be great in the Championship.
Yeah, but we put in such a good structure in place about 4 or 5 years ago that now, even without the superstars like Bale and even without like Captain Aaron Ramsey, etc., and like Wayne Hennessy moving on and everything, all these guys, Ben Davies as well, like obviously not playing such an integral part these days compared to 2016, 2018. The structure that was put in place back then is then helping us.
And you can apply that
now.
logic. We've all worked at workplaces. I certainly have. You could tell the difference. You walk into a workplace environment, if it's well run, if it's organised, if it's, convivial to the people that work there, it's not a surprise that you get
better results.
Well, because the players then on the pitch buy into the on the pitch stuff because they bought into the off the pitch stuff. The players will have bought into Berta. They would have bought into the owners. They would have bought into these other guys.
And also the stability that, for example, Arsenal have had, because it is actually very good to use Arsenal as a comparison because
we turned it around. Essentially.
Your last 6.5 years compared to my last 6.5 years. If we go back to the 5 years before that, it was Spurs, but it was like that.
Well,
and then it's
you
gone like
finish
that.
above Arsenal like
many
3 out of 4
times,
seasons or something.
Yeah. And we
they
were
beat us to top 4 one.
We were in a position. We finished second twice. I think we finished third as well. Fourth, beat fourth. This was all under the Pochettino era, where we also had 2 seasons away at home when the stadium was being built at Wembley. We also had a whole year where we didn't make any signings. Like this was at a point where it was such a crucial sliding doors moment. And there's a game in particular with Liverpool, because Liverpool weren't brilliant around that time either. While Spurs were at Wembley, we beat them 4-1 at Wembley. And it was a completely sliding doors moment. That January, they went out. I think they got Van Dijk. I think they got Alisson that window as well. And they just went like that.
Level up.
Spurs at that point were kind of like this. They were slightly plateauing. And we did absolutely nothing. And I put that down to the fact that obviously we were playing for the stadium. It might be how it was with you guys when you moved from Highbury. And we never have recovered. And I sit here 6.5 years later, since sacking Pochettino, and I think my club has had as many managers, if not more, in that time period. I have seen the best player, one of the best players, if not, in my club's history, in Harry Kane, leave because this club went in a totally different direction. And yes, okay, I'm staring right at it. I've got a Europa League trophy. Brilliant. On the back of 22 losses and finishing 17th, basically getting relegated. And that's my highlight. That's my only highlight, really,
there should be more
I've had in the last 6.5 years.
Yeah, there should be more to it. You think about how good Spurs were in that time. Like you said, you were in title races. Do you know what I mean? Like even in cup competitions, when actually you were a really good side, you could have went forth and gone and won that. There's just no real investment, no real like push from your board to say like, yeah, we need this. Like it's just
nothing, no investment. No, didn't invest in the right time. Didn't back the right manager. Paying for it 6.5 years later.
I even think like your recruitment's upstairs, like some of your sporting directors you maybe have had in, like
terrible.
It's just awful all around.
Meanwhile, Paratici's gone to jail and has come back.
Yeah, like exactly. That shouldn't even be happening. They should be looking at that like, right, he's gone to prison for a reason.
Like,
do you know what I mean?
But he gave us Kulusevski and Bentancur, so we'll have him back.
It's just
one out of 2 good signings.
This guy's got to do some serious work in Jan. I still think that Palhinha is a good signing. I think that Kudus is a good signing. I can't even think who else we signed in the summer. Xavi, Simmons. I'll wait, but we need more. We need more. It's just there's a lot of crap average. There is, and you can't get rid of half this crap. Yeah. So then you go and sign. You make Tell permanent. Why? So he can sit there and not end up being sold at some point, like Richarlison. Bless his little cotton socks. Like, you know. It's frustrating. I could sit here and talk to you for hours about the shortcomings of my club, but we're already 40 minutes into the show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're here to talk more about. Obviously, we've got the games tonight, and we'll look at them towards the end. But the other thing I do want to talk about is back to Liverpool. Is that so obviously a couple of days ago or last week, it was quite funny news came out that Liverpool got a call from Real Madrid specifically to tell them they're not signing Konate.
Keep that youth. He's dead.
Like, by the way,
they just said no. They just said, yo, you see that youth there? Him dead. His knees mashed up. He can't defend.
And it's but you can have him on a free though.
Nah, man.
Keep him moved.
They didn't even need to do it. There was no reason for Real Madrid to do that, by the way. Absolutely none. They just decided to.
Florentino Perez calls you up, says, nah, mate, I know we Nick Trent, but you see that youth there, he's dead. He ain't it.
But he will get another big club though.
Yeah, he will.
So this is what I want to talk about, is that apparently Liverpool Liverpool are very keen to extend his contract.
Italy.
Really?
For
But
him.
obviously he will turn because he's 26 or he's 26 years old now, meaning that once he hits January, he's allowed to talk to whatever club he likes. Obviously for Trent that was Real Madrid, and then that whole thing happened. But Liverpool are really keen to extend Konate's contract, but they just can't agree on terms.
He's just having a nightmare.
He's just having a
season.
nightmare season.
But I don't think it's just him. I think even Virgil's not
100%.
Virgil's been nowhere near it either. Like, you know, you have to look at it like, fair enough, you missing your typical fullback partners. Do you know what I mean? Like Andy Robertson is on the bench essentially. Trent is gone. Conor Bradley suffers from injuries here and there, so he's not really a season starter.
Apart from Arsenal, most clubs would take him. Man City would take him right now.
he's
They ain't got proper centre.
Well, Konate.
Yeah, Chelsea would probably take him. I know they got some young guys in, but his experience. I mean, he's a French international of some repute.
I'd take
You
him.
guys would take him.
You guys would take him.
You know what I mean?
He's
We're
good.
probably the only
Happily,
ones.
yeah.
He's
in
good.
that-
He's just having a poor
Yeah.
season.
And
He's
also-
having a poor season.
And
yeah.
also, I think where a lot of people are very heavy to criticise Konate because they don't always want to criticise Virgil.
Yeah,
and
no,
it's
I
like,
agree.
let's be honest, Virgil is having such a
Nightmare.
poor
That
poor
PSV
season.
game, like
Yeah.
man was playing basket. He saw Flex doing air verge, fam.
He said praise.
He was-
praise
To this day,
praise
still
the ball.
can't figure out what he was doing.
No, I
Like
He
what?
claimed that
what-
he was
what-
pushed in the back.
Have you ever?
Look at the size of that guy.
Lies.
Have you ever
Look
been
at the
pushed and
size
gone,
of him.
"Ha!" It's
Yeah.
not even too. It's not even like you get pushed and you're like this.
It would have
Who
been
pushes
easier.
and goes like
just
this?
be like you were waving at someone in the crowd. Like that's
Yeah.
that's as much.
Just be like you're running up for the header and then you see, and then
Rubbish.
you
You're like, "Oh."
you see your mum or something. You're like, hey mum, oh,
Yeah.
playing
He
off,
was
playing off.
moving.
But it's,
And he
it's
goes
not
and
just
complains.
PSV. It's been so many games
Yeah.
this season,
It
like where
has.
he's just been really, really poor.
Yeah, it
and I
has.
think that in the past, maybe where whoever has been in that partnership with someone like Virgil, whether it is Joe Gomez, whether it's Konate, whether it's Matip, etc. Obviously, Virgil has always been like the one that's been so good there. We've watched him literally coach kids. In that Chelsea win of
brilliant.
What Carabao. So it's when his level has dropped, and then Konate's having a bad season. Plus you've got no Trent anymore. Plus Kirkes again don't really know what he's doing either. It's like every single thing in that back line is just all over the place.
Yeah, it's not working.
All over the place.
I think it also doesn't help when in front of you you've got like someone like McAllister who's nowhere near it. So like you also have to look at your midfield, and you're looking at someone like McAllister who last season was brilliant. He looked so shot this season. Like it doesn't help your defense as well when your midfield looks shot, and the players that were playing really well last season, like Gravenberch's having a bit of a mixed season. The only one in that team that's actually performing is Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
Genuinely. He's
And
the only
He's
one.
doing four people's jobs.
Yeah, he's
Szoboszlai
literally
is.
he's getting moved to right back. He's playing so many different positions. He's having to score. If it's not him, it's
He was
at this
basically
point,
playing right wing.
At this
against
point, it's
West Ham.
Szoboszlai and Believe. Like, not even joking.
So then, if we're saying that, then is it fair to criticise Slot as heavily as he has been criticised?
Yeah, because
Yes.
because I think to an extent, I don't think it's all on Arne Slot. Personally, I think that there is again players to be held accountable for. I think obviously the Jota factor is huge, and I don't think we should ever underplay that. But I also think tactically, Arne Slot is being tested this season. He's
been found out.
And it's kind of like he just didn't get the memo that this league, particularly this year, was going to change a bit.
Yeah.
That we were going a lot more physical. That we're going to kind of go back to a little bit of the Barclays era. We're going to have the long throws. We're going to have a bit of the shithousery, like
and the set pieces
and stuff like that. And it's kind of like he totally missed the memo, and he still wants to play this kind of flair drip type
Ain't
of
everybody
football.
DC, mate.
It ain't happening.
I must admit,
Ain't happening
earlier
this
on in the season, when he constantly kept complaining about teams setting up low blocks, and I was like, "Yo, bro, stop!"
Do you know
it, man."
Do you know how
Yeah,
we as Arsenal fans
never.
know? Every single team that comes to Emirates plays a low block. We've had years of like having to. Do you know how many? Do you not remember when we drew 0-0 to Everton? Most frustrating game. They just low blocked it.
Yeah.
They showed no ambition. I remember when Newcastle came, and I think we drew with them as well. This was a couple of years back. They said the ball was in play for about 35 minutes of that whole game. We had to deal with that. You just have to get around it.
And at the end of the day, it's
all it is.
It's a competition.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
whoever
The dark
comes,
arts happen.
You might not like the dark arts, but that's what it is to win a game. I know that obviously everyone was talking about what
English
happened at
heritage.
City the other day. Let's not lie and say that all teams don't do that.
Yeah.
A keeper don't feign an injury, so you can all have
Exactly.
a team talk, or another player doesn't do it. Happens all the time. So let's just not start calling it out. If like I just think Arne's not doing that. It just was a little bit desperate.
He wants
to me.
everybody to be like Southampton, like, when Russell Martin ridiculously
exactly.
insisted on championship players trying to play out from the back.
Crazy
I
work.
Yeah.
wondered when they were
You have
getting
to adapt.
spanked. every
It's
week.
these for me. It's just these managers who come from non-top 5 leagues
And they're
straight
like,
to the biggest teams in the Premier League.
how dare you put a low block against me? How dare you do a long throw?
It's
what?
A, that, but then it's B, them not realising that every season you have to...
Exactly.
This is why Pep Guardiola is one of the best managers of all time.
Exactly.
It's why Sir
'Cause he
Alex
changes.
Ferguson won Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues over the course of 26 years.
Yeah.
That's more than my entire lifetime so far, by the way. It's because they change every 2 years. Pep changes all. Like, remember the first Pep teams, right?
Yeah.
They had Sane, Sterling,
Yeah.
Aguero. They were flying wingers. That was like proper, like kind of old school English football in terms of they just had back post arrivals, crosses in, crosses that. Then he changed. He switched up. He went much more possession based when De Bruyne was in there, and they kind of tiki-taka football with De Bruyne, Gundogan, and then Roger was coming in doing
Having
that
a
kind
false
of stuff.
nine
And then,
type of thing.
false nine,
Little
and then he's changed
triangles.
again, and now he's got like the
He's
big,
gone back to the
the big striker up front, so he's
and
gonna. He's changed it.
touchline wingers.
Slot found something that worked in the Dutch league.
Yeah.
Came to the Premier League. Also did it in the Prem, and all the Prem managers who are, with all due respect, 4 or 5 levels above the rest of the most of the Dutch league managers, then go, we figured out how to play against. Eddie Howe was like, all right, we figured out what you're going to do. 10 men, we'll just bombard
do
you.
it.
And then Stott's gone, why are you doing this?
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, change.
Exactly.
You have to change to how everyone else is.
And I think we've also seen enough managers in this league not want to change. Amorim.
Ten Hag as well,
Ten
another
Hag
one from United.
And obviously being one, Russell Martin, early doors
You know,
out.
Emery was kind of like that as well.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's Emery was.
We've seen so many managers do that. This is the Premier League. This is never
have
going to
to.
wash. If you are
Everything
not going
Premier
to
changes
change,
every single season.
Jose was a prime example. Of it, obviously, when he came back to the Premier League, if you are not, the game was moved on. You know, and you've got to keep moving with the times. Otherwise, you're going to get sacked, my friend.
Exactly.
Because you're not going to win games.
No, I 100% agree. You've got to evolve.
Got
Yeah.
to evolve.
No,
If you
exactly.
don't,
Sadiq111 says Arteta's first transfer window was COVID. Free agents, overweight Willian. That traumatized me. Now signing twin wonder kids. We came a long way.
Yeah, man.
What twin
COYG.
wonder kids?
We've apparently signed these 2 twin wonder kids from Ecuador that are apparently really highly touted. Like they're gonna join, so that's great.
You're going down the route that we're doing at the moment. We've
just-
got a massive scout network in South America.
You trying to
United
rival
do.
Chelsea?
I think
I was
Yeah.
making that
There
point
is actually a
yesterday
South
that
American
clubs
team
will
called
start
Arsenal.
tapping
You know
into
that?
new markets.
Yeah, I think it's in Brazil.
Sorry, what
I
did
was
you say?
making that point yesterday on the show that it's almost incumbent upon these teams now, especially with money and so forth, to tap into new markets, and that's what Arsenal have done, innit?
Yeah.
They've obviously scouted far and wide. Probably had a word with Nkapie. Maybe Nkapie's gone to them and said, "Look, I think you ought to know, but there's these 2 guys from Ecuador. Trust me, they're the next big thing."
But also,
Maybe Arsenal looked into it for actually, you know what?
If you-
We've just signed a DM from Colombia who's turning 18 soon.
look at Chelsea. Look how much business
at
they
Brighton.
do. Exactly.
Brighton are the
another
perfect
one.
example of a club that's tapped into South America and African markets and gone and got
to be
a
innovative.
Baleba, a Minta, do you know what I mean? And a Dingra.
Them
like
signing
all these-
Caicedo
a
will forever irritate me.
A Bissouma, a Cooker, like
Yeah.
all these players that we wouldn't even hear of. They've
got
gone
to.
into these little pockets where actually people don't even maybe respect enough and say actually maybe there's not enough talent there. They've gone there and got so many fantastic players that are some of the best in the league.
Because look, football is a global game, right?
Yeah,
it's
it is.
played everywhere. That's
It's a
why it's so
universal
popular. It's a
sport.
global game, and there is bound to be talent all over the world. It's a case of you
Oh yeah,
going there.
it's one of the chats
Find
just
it.
mentioned. Obviously, Esteval.
Yeah,
that's like
Esteval.
a big one
Yeah.
at the minute from Chelsea, which was just absolutely nailed
What's
on.
his face? That's at Real Madrid, that kid, Endrick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
To be fair, Real Madrid have been trying to replicate the Neymar transfer ever since they missed out on Neymar.
Yeah.
Don't know if you've noticed it. Like the Vinicius, Rodrigo, like they
working.
keep trying to sign. It's
Yeah.
kind of
working
working,
to a
yeah.
degree.
But
I mean,
because
none of
remember
those
they
players
missed out on Neymar.
None of those players
and,
are a Neymar, but look at the success that
But it's done well,
that
yeah.
a Vinicius Junior, for
Exactly.
example, has
Yeah,
had for Real
100%.
Madrid.
Yeah. South American players as well in the Premier League. If you get a good South American player, they're amazing. It's why I'm so happy we've kindly got a good Brazilian in Cunha. I feel like so many of our Brazilians have been cult heroes.
Well-
Like Anderson was great. Fred, cult hero. A couple of
Got to put numbers on the boards, mate.
I know he does. Well, hopefully he's back.
Don't
tomorrow.
come
I hope he's back on
with the
Thursday,
FJ
bro.
talk
What
of the
was his
Florian
injury?
Wirtz.
Huh?
What was his name?
He basically almost got knocked out in training. So like concussion protocols
By
that
who?
you've got to spend. We don't know. I'm gonna guess it was
Casemiro.
Casemiro. Yeah. If it was anybody, it's Casemiro. Slot out, as you said here, Dylan Slot doesn't have a say in transfers, so he didn't decide to sign the players. I refuse to believe that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Every manager does have.
He might not have total control.
He's not an Eric Ten Hag where Eric Ten Hag was like, I want Anthony, for example.
And then
but
you've got Anthony,
he
yeah.
definitely did have a
He'll
say.
have a say,
And I feel
got
like
to.
when they were linked to Florian Wirtz, he came out multiple times talking about how much he liked
Yeah.
Wirtz, and he was a really attractive player, and he's really happy to have him. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Same with Isaac and Ekatike. So sorry, your manager does have. I'm not saying they have full control.
Yeah,
but you do have
the
a say.
players would have been run past him 100%, like whether or not, because that is just generally how it works. They might not be the ones that do the deals or have final say, but I know from how Spurs work, and I assume it's a similar setup, that they'll be presented with options like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc.
Yeah,
and it's
then they'll like whittle it down to a list of 3 or 4 they agree.
What about where that doesn't work though? So, for example, if the rumours are to be believed, one of the reasons why Nuno fell foul at Forest is because him and our own ex-player, Kenya, what's his name?
Oh, Zinchenko?
No,
Edu.
No,
Edu.
Edu.
Nuno and Edo were apparently at loggerheads over some of the signings.
Yeah, didn't like it.
And that led to his ultimate demise.
The manager needs to say, but the manager cannot be the be all and end all of it.
Yeah, no.
Because
It's why all our signings
one of the
in Cameroon have been
signings that
good.
he wasn't having was Amari Hutchinson.
Yeah.
When they brought him in, Nuno
loves
apparently
Amari
lost it and
Hutchinson.
said no.
Well, it's
Could
weird
do a lot
because I
worse.
think Hutchinson's a fantastic.
I think he's a good player.
I thought he was really good.
great.
I
at Ipswich.
actually, I actually
squad
didn't really
player.
understand why Nuno was so upset because he got brought Douglas.
It could have been because he
Luiz,
wanted somebody
Amari
else though.
Hutchinson.
Like, he wasn't
No,
bad.
but it's not like he got brought bums.
Maybe
do you know what I mean?
it's just the principle of it.
They brought in what's that kid from City? They brought him in. They brought
And
in
Dye as well is a great player.
Yeah, like they brought in that striker Igor Jesus. Is that his name? Like he actually like Edu actually, to give him a bit of credit. He brought
I think
in.
Dylan might have a point. Sometimes the manager may feel like he's being undermined.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
if
but
he's
knowing
if he's
Nuno-
asked for a certain player,
What,
and they
Adama
bring in-
Traore? Are you joking? Knowing Nuno, that's probably what
No,
he would
but
have
maybe
Yeah,
he had
probably
plans
what
for
he actually-
Traore though.
I don't think there's enough plans. Like the guy's never going to have an end product. So unless you want him to just, I don't know, like
It's
just
not
run
like he
through
asked.
man. Like, that's
It's
it.
different if he's had like a Neymar level talent.
Yeah,
Man's-
and he didn't get it, then fine. But if we're talking about Adama Traore here, no offense.
No, you're right.
you're
But I
watching.
mean,
yeah, come on, man.
managers
Nuno.
though, if you
I think it might have been like a wafer thin mint situation here though, because obviously the
what?
wafer thin mint. Have you not seen the?
What's a wafer
Wafer
thin
thin
mint?
mint?
You don't know this?
You come down with
It's
some
a,
bangers.
it's a, it's a,
we're about
it's
to
a,
learn something else.
Sorry?
it's a Monty Python sketch.
One for thin mint.
A wafer thin mint. Yeah, it's a sketch about a bloke who eats so much food. He's like eating loads and loads of food, and then it was like it's like kind of the straw that broke the camel's back, same kind of thing.
Why
It's
can't you just say
he
like
eats a wafer thin
£600
mint.
life or something?
Because he's, what's it called again?
I've never heard that expression in my life.
Have you spotted?
Have you not?
picture me
It's
today?
it's a Monty Python sketch
Oh,
about a
okay.
guy who eats so much food, and then eats a wafer thin mint. That's one tips you over the edge, and he explodes.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's just like it's like the last little thing that
So
tips things over the
so
edge.
the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, but yeah, they
could
all
have
they all
gone
mean the
back.
same thing. Yeah,
I've
but
learnt
either
another
way,
thing.
either way, it
That's
might
so
just
strange.
going back.
You're on one today, aren't you?
You're so-
Ambipedal, and now
Can you just put your
I've
Wafer
come in
thin
loaded.
mint.
I've got facts.
You're so strange. Like, just come out. With
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
It's,
I'm here for it.
it's a really common phrase.
But yeah, I think.
Have you
but
ever
yeah.
heard that?
I've never heard that. in
Surely,
my life.
comments. At least some of you would have
Yeah,
heard that.
comments
It's a really
tell us,
famous.
because I've genuinely never
Do you
heard
guys
that.
not? Have you guys not watched much Monty Python then?
I've never seen
I
it.
used to watch
Oh,
Monty Python.
it's
quite
so
a bit.
good.
I don't think it's really mine and Ken's.
Yeah, it's
Monty
not-
Python's
it's not giving.
quality.
It's not giving.
I used to watch a
not
little
good
bit of it back in the day. John Cleese and people
Yeah.
like that.
Oh my
But
God.
yeah,
Faulty Towers,
yeah.
fantastic.
But to go back to your point, though, I do think that with managers, they are quite sensitive. isn't
Yeah, they are.
So
They wanna have a bit of a
because
say.
let's face it, they're carrying the ultimate responsibility. So if the sporting director is bringing in players and he's thinking,
Not really my guy.
Yeah.
he might,
Not my style
you
of
know,
play.
Yeah. So
That's
anyway,
fair.
There you go. See, Big Tip says wafer thin mint. He's a man of culture.
okay.
Told you lots,
That's
but
probably the only cultured thing you might have said then, so far.
what?
Wafer thin mint.
That's rude. But anyway,
What is
moving
that?
on.
I've never
Moving
heard
on
of
to
this.
the couple Premier League games we got this evening. Obviously, got Bournemouth against Everton,
thin mint.
Fulham against Man City, and Newcastle versus Spurs. We touched on the Newcastle Spurs game, but I got some stats, some facts I want to read out. Newcastle have won 5 of their last 6 Premier League games against Spurs, losing 1, as many as they had in their previous 17. Tottenham have lost their last 3 Premier League games against Newcastle, last losing more consecutively against the Magpies between April 2006 and December 2008, when you lost 6 in a row against them. Having won just 2 of their last 11 Premier League home games against Spurs between 2010 and 11 and 2021-22, Newcastle have now won their last 3 games by an aggregate score of 12-2.
Yeah, so basically, I picked this for last one standing, guys.
And you picked Newcastle.
You are incredible.
I picked Newcastle because I don't intend to go back out of final one standing. I go out every single week. I'm actually watching a clip of it now. Like I said at the start of the show, I'd be flabbergasted on the floor, shocked, mouth draw on the wide open if we managed to go to Newcastle and get something. History will tell you that. So
Yeah, I mean, Newcastle haven't lost any of
You
their
want me to go
last
there
10
and-
home midweek games.
You want me to go there and say that Spurs are going to dunk on Newcastle at
didn't
St
say that.
James's Park?
I didn't say that.
Am
Absolutely
I-
no chance.
Are
by
we
the
the
way.
only team to beat them there this season?
No,
St
Liverpool.
James's, Liverpool.
You must.
Rio
Oh, yeah,
scored
Liverpool beat
100th
them.
minute, yeah.
Maybe
Even then,
You
Liverpool did not
must.
deserve that game.
No.
You must
they
be
didn't.
mad. You must be joking. Actually, that
The
rule
thing,
doesn't
about,
work.
the thing about this
Amazing.
game, there's Thomas Frank. He's in a real difficult situation because if he goes there, right, and
Does he drop Vicario
decides
though?
to engage, and you get pumped,
Right.
it's gonna get real bad.
Who
right?
comes in if he drops Vicario, though?
Kinske. Wait,
Kinski.
what's that?
But to go back to that
What's
point,
that other guy
if
we've
he
got?
goes
One of
there
them,
and
the DJ retired. He wants to be a photographer now.
Nah, I'm dead.
True.
if he
story.
goes
Brandon
there,
Austin.
how do you
Football
think he sets
just
up?
Made him career path.
Abby, how do you think he sets up? Because if he goes there and tries to play and you get beat, he's going to get stick for that.
I
if
don't
he
think he'll
goes
go
there
there
and
and try and
tries to
play.
low block it, he's going to get stick for that. So what do you think he'll do?
Surely the only thing you can do is kind of go gung ho and try and actually
They
do
won't.
something.
Yeah.
No, but then he'll
I
be
know-
accused
I
of being
know he
naive.
won't.
And,
No chance. He'll go there. He'll have Bentancur, Polinia. When did we play? Saturday. He'll have Bentancur, Polinia, maybe Bergval, Kudus, Richarlison, Kolomoani, normal back four. Maybe Spence instead
That
of Doggy.
starting 11 actually stinks.
It stinks. There's not
That
one
actually
bit of
stinks.
movement.
Tinky.
Not
how's your
one bit.
midfield doing? Because I
Stinks.
tell you, you get a warm time.
There's no
tonight.
progression in that midfield
There's none.
at all.
He will play Polinia and he will play Bentancur. If he doesn't, he'll do. What did he do the other night? Polinia, Saar, Bergval. He's got to play, and he had Gray in there. I don't know. All I know is it ain't gonna be good. If you're doing last one standing, final one standing, guys, put your money on Newcastle. I'm telling you.
That is one of the worst places to go away.
You don't
from
wanna-
home if you.
Especially-
That's the point.
Yeah.
Especially
and-
considering what they did on the
and-
weekend.
Brentford, even at home. And
Yeah.
I'd say, at home we might be okay. No, Brentford at home.
That's why you needed to win.
terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, I mean, so you're
Bad.
literally your fixtures before the end of the year: Newcastle away, Brentford at home, Slavia Prague away.
Weirdly, we're actually
So
okay in
Slavia
Europa
Prague
League.
at home,
Europa League.
Nottingham Forest away,
Mate,
Liverpool at
we played
home,
Slavia Prague.
Palace away.
Mate.
The only games we seem to win at home are actually in the Champions League,
Yeah, against Copenhagen.
and same as Europa League last season. They're the only games that we've won at home.
Aren't you on like a 28 game unbeaten run or something in Europe at
Yeah.
home? Something mental like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are our next fixtures?
Yeah. So it's literally So
Brentford. So this week's tough.
are we
Away
gonna
at
play a
Forest.
Thomas Frank sack
Away at-
bingo here?
Away at Forest. Oh, away at Forest,
They got Liverpool
So yeah,
at
Prem
home
games
as well,
and then Liverpool at
Palace.
home and then Palace away.
and then Brentford away.
It's peak,
I
man.
don't. I'd be
peak, man.
shocked if he's still there.
I honestly think if all goes wrong, it's after that Forest
But
game.
don't ask me who they
It's
would
after that
they would
Forest.
bring in. Do not ask me. I
That's
don't
Ryan
know.
Mason's come back.
Shut up.
What?
Troll.
I swear he's not even doing that great as well.
I don't want Ryan Mason. I don't want any of them. It might be someone like Ledley King. Just they'll give you like club
Nah, that's-
ambassador.
you-
I genuinely don't know what they. I actually genuinely I don't know what they do.
This is so funny actually.
Get
'cause
Levy on the pitch.
I had this exact conversation with a Spurs mate of mine yesterday. We were talking about like who he'd want to bring in should like Frank go, and he basically said he would want to bring in just someone from who played in that Pochettino team.
Lucas Moura.
Yeah, no, he was actually be like give it to like Alderweireld or something.
It would just be like Ted Lasso. Football is life.
Yeah,
Well,
That
that
would
would get
be it.
KG in.
To be fair,
get KG in.
oh my god, could you imagine?
Imagine when the
KG
half-time
impresses,
when you-
actually.
When you concede a goal, he's there with his soundboard. Dead.
Dead. It's like your performance first half. Dead.
No, I think I can't see him
KG in a
losing
press
his
conference,
job.
10 out of 10.
No,
I
that reflects so poorly on the board that they're not going to sack him.
Could you imagine? Do you know what would be mental if they then
Can you afford
hired?
to
I could actually see us doing this. Ten Hag.
That would be
I
so
think. I actually think the protest.
funny.
The protest down Tottenham High Road.
need
if
that.
that was the thing,
need
like absolutely not.
You know, what's kind of
than
funny
you
is I actually think you'd
More
be
than you
all
can
right
believe.
under him.
No.
You'd
no.
be all right under him
No.
to start with, and then it would
We
go
need
really
Oh,
wrong.
brilliant! So another manager can add to the roster.
Yes.
Stunning.
I don't think. Well, I think that's going to happen no matter who comes in.
I don't. Do you know what? Whenever.
Yeah, I mean, Ronnie
whenever-
Dodge literally said super chat. Maybe Spurs should get Ten Hag. They suit each other.
I could actually see that, and I will be
Bring
livid. I
Gareth
would-
Southgate?
No. No.
Can you really
That's-
say
what's the
no?
difference
though,
between
to
Gareth
half
Southgate
Might
these
as well
and
just
people?
keep Thomas
Frank?
Frank.
You might as well keep Thomas
No,
Frank.
I'm telling you.
Southgate's got better vibes.
Give it Harry Redknapp to the end of the season. I loved Redknapp.
No,
Vibes.
even Harry's a bit past it now.
No, I'd have Harry. He'd just say go out
Tony
there.
Pulis,
He'd
Sam
say,
Allardyce.
He'd say go out there and have fun, lads. That's what you used to
I
basically
reckon
tell our
Gareth
team anyway.
Southgate is a good look.
I
Listen,
Yeah, I actually think Gareth Southgate would not be half
being
bad.
so bad, mate. What?
I
think
actually Gareth
that'd be a
Southgate
good
would be
look.
alright.
He's got the presence. He's got the name.
Got the waistcoat.
He's got the. He's
Yeah, actually, he
available.
doesn't even the waistcoat, does
Whole
he?
thing stinks.
He's available.
I reckon he'd probably
Gary
get you
O'Neill.
playing better football though than you could.
No, I don't think.
You and me are actually going to fall out.
No, I'm just being serious.
Spurs
told me-
fans wouldn't
I
be
just
having
thought
You've
about
Gary.
that
told me
now.
Roy Hodgson. You've told me Gary O'Neill. And who was the other one you said to me?
What?
You're just being nasty.
No, I'm just saying.
Roy Keane's
No, but
around.
Gary O'Neill's actually available.
What about Xavi?
I don't think you want to come.
I don't think Xavi would say
Nah,
yes.
Xavi would look at that team and be like, "Lawe, I'm not ruining my reputation.
I'm not trying.
I'm a league winner."
I actually don't know, guys. Let's
I think
cross the bridge when we come to it.
you might need to find someone who's also looking to repair their rep.
What about
No,
Martinez?
No,
Roberto.
no,
What?
no.
Well, he's in Portugal,
He's
isn't
in
he?
Portugal.
No, but Gareth Southgate.
I
That fits.
would just find someone.
I really agree with
no,
you.
I would just find
Don't you
someone to
think
the
so?
end of the season. I don't know if you'll wind me up.
I'm thinking about.
What about
something-
Southgate till the end of
That's
the
it,
season?
Southgate
Gareth Southgate
fits.
in the
Oh, how
interim.
come you
He's
lot
got the
didn't want him then?
profile.
We were talking
No,
about
but
Amram
what's
going.
the point of getting Southgate
We might as well
when
keep
you're ready? You
him.
might as well keep Thomas Frank.
Keep
Cut
him.
from the same club.
No, but he's got the profile. Former England manager. He's, you know
Don't
what I mean?
want it. I'd rather actually have him.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, what's the difference?
Don't want any. If I've got to watch boring football, then just let
And
it
then
be him.
Gareth Southgate as
Hey,
well.
I mean-
He's a
I
guy.
mean,
He just crumbles.
We'll see.
as well.
We'll see if Frank lasts the
Reckon-
night because
Yeah,
the
let's
Newcastle
see.
game is going to be a bad. But thank you
Reckon
guys.
we'll see
Thank you
him.
guys so much for watching. Obviously, get your score prediction in tonight. What do you think about what we've talked about in terms of the Spurs? Have you just burst that?
I want to see if there's helium in it.
Yes.
But there's nothing in it now. You just
Oh
burst
my
it.
God.
But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure enjoy the games tonight. We'll be back at 5 p.m. tomorrow. Abby will be here as well to
I
react
will.
to this Tottenham game. We'll see whatever happens. Whatever happens, happens. Apart from that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.
Robbie here. Listen, lots of people have been asking me, Robbie, how have you managed to lose so much weight? And I feel so much better for it. And it has been a journey. But these two little things here, Optimum Day and Optimum Night, have really, really helped me on my weight loss journey. This Optimum Day, what it does, it helps you to curb your cravings. It really helps with your metabolism and just really just stabilizes things. And I swear by this. I absolutely swear by this. And then the Optimum Night, what this one does, I take these before I go to bed at night, helps you to have a much better, deeper sleep, makes you relax, makes you sleep, and makes your body recover. And these pills, I mean, listen, they're not magic pills, but they're all natural, and they have really, really helped me in my weight loss journey, and I really, really swear by them. So if you want to get your hands on these, scan the QR code in the description right now, or click the link down below, and you can get 70% off your first order with the Optimum Day and Optimum Night by Oxford Natural. As I said, these have been essential tools in my weight loss journey. Of course, there's no magic to it. You've got to eat less, you've got to go to the gym, you've got to do all those things. But these two have really, really helped me, and I recommend them very, very highly. So once again, if you want to get them and get 70% off your first order, all you've got to do is scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description, and you get 70% off your first order.